Matt, please don't, top secret, mate.
What's this contraption here?
This contraption here is to measure the angle of attack on fins and the board, how the board goes through the water. This is the base of the needle that's on the deck that we showed you earlier, and that there moves. There's a shaft, goes through with a needle attached to it. So if the water's flowing this way down the board, this moves in that direction, and basically tells you exactly what it's doing over the fin and the angle of attack. There you have it. Pretty simple, really. What would you call that? An indicator?
The pointer of truth.
The pointer of truth, the angle of attack indicator, yeah. So what this does, as you're sailing, it basically tells you which way the water's flowing underneath the board, and it indicates that on the deck. Firstly, this isn't 100% correct in terms of there is a little bit of surface water change going on. So as you're going through chop, that water's moving under the board. However, that is really what's happening to the fin as well. So the fin is actually, the angle of attack of the fin is also getting changed by chop, not just by forward direction. Now, for years, we've assumed there was an angle of attack of a certain degree. I find it kind of difficult to really design stuff unless you know these fundamentals. And this is what we're doing with a lot of things on the board. We're actually trying to find the answers to a lot of theories and questions that remain unanswered, so that we can actually move forward, because you can't move forward, you just go round and round circles if you don't really know the answers. For many years we created things based on theories or truths that we thought were truths, and as I've delved into it and probably got a little bit more experience underneath my belt, I've realized that a lot of these things aren't true. And even in fin design, we've sort of challenged a bit of the science, and it hasn't been correct. I know that's kind of arrogant, and I've spoken to a doctor of naval architecture who's a friend of mine, and he's also a speed sailor and a expert in hydrodynamics, and he's actually said there are a lot of grey areas that we don't know about.
That's a cat on the roof. I'm pretty sure that's a cat, isn't it?
It is the cat. This data will certainly go towards helping us understand what's actually going on underneath the bottom of the board in terms of direction, whether the angle of attack changes when you go upwind, what the angle of attack is doing when you go 130 degrees off the wind, directly off the wind, and so on. So we actually have something to go by, so that when we're designing something, we know which direction the water's going.